Tuesday mornings on Fit FM. It's all about worship and praise. Hey, join me, the Reverend Junior Rutti, on Fit FM 96.7, 8:30 a.m. through 10 a.m. for Praise Up Tuesday, your mid-morning experience. Come with me every Tuesday as we send up the praises to our God on this station, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Y'all got it now. Help us sing it together in praise.
Amazing. You make my life feel brand new.
Join us on Be Inspired with Shuggy Tosh and DJ Jai
on Feed FM 96.7
every Tuesday between 12 noon and 2 p.m. Jamaican time.
You can also tune in via www.facebook.com/FeedFM 96.7.
You can't afford to miss it. Keep on being inspired on Feed FM.
Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh.
Restoration Ministries presents Talk with Rev, with host Rev Rowan Dunn, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. You can also join us on YouTube, Facebook at Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
I was lost, but now I'm found. Was bound, but now I'm free.
Have you ever desired to experience rebirth in your body, mind, and soul? Then join me, your host, Pastor Chidale Smallwood, aka The Poetic Revolution, on Fit FM 96.7 every Tuesday evening at 6 inside Gospel and Soul for Rebirth, where redemption eventually brings into reality total healing. That is Rebirth on Fit FM 96.7 Gospel and Soul. Your life, your music.
So here I am, the controversial Ed Wallace. I'm on Community Buzz every Monday afternoon from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Call me. Our number is 876-482-4944. Let us discuss topics affecting your community: education, health, community development, infrastructure, and anything else. Remember, Community Buzz, Mondays 3 to 6 on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Under the pressures of your life and it tough. No stay down, mama, time pick it up.
Good afternoon, another Monday afternoon here in sweet Jamaica. I tell you though, something's happening you just can't believe. But welcome to the Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. We're on this afternoon in I don't know, the sun is now being blocked, I think, a little bit, but still hot. Sometimes windy, dusty. I don't know if dust is a part of the weather. Is it? But dusty day too. As I said, welcome to Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. A mix of sun and clouds. Well, may I say a mix of sun of cloud and dust and everybody. Diet Goldburn there in Atlanta. Good afternoon. I know you're there with us. Yes. Welcome. So, as you know, Fit FM, we're on all the radio platforms, all the online radio media, right? And we're also on social media platforms, the Facebook. Some of you are seeing me via Facebook now, the Instagram, YouTube, all of that. And we are on your radio at 96.7, yes, and 96.7. So I have so many numbers to remember. It's just phenomenal. Sometimes I get them crossed. So you can listen on the radio at 96.7 to find us there, Fit FM. Our number, if you're interested in dialogue, discussion, or just making a point, from WhatsApp, Messenger, or text, or even a call, it's 876-482-4944. And then another number that we have, 876-317-1991. So you can join us from all platforms, all media, WhatsApp, you name it, you can join us. Just talk to us. We're here to talk to you. We won't be having a special guest this afternoon, so we're gonna be moving along. And the other thing is, I must apologize to you because guess what? I'm flying almost blind without my glasses. You would have noticed that every afternoon I'm here, I have my glasses. So I'm going by hints here, right? Birthdays. We don't have any special birthdays to announce today, but in lieu of birthday, we can say that we have Mother's Day. All right, and this is Community Buzz's Mother's Day today, Monday. Mother's Day for Community Buzz, and so we just want to wish all the mothers out there good, happy Mother's Day, both for yesterday and for today, this evening. I hope you're not your fitting has not been exhausted yet, and that the kids are still piling on the love and piling on the gifts, etc. But just to take out my favorite grouping, as you all know, love my HTHS mothers, Homo Technical High School. Want to say again a happy Mother's Day to that grouping. Want to say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of Wallaces and Wallace mothers, meaning the women named Wallace who are mothers and the mothers of children named Wallace. All right, so happy Mother's Day to that grouping. In all the communities, Bounty, Wakefield, Hammersmith, Green Park, Granville, happy Mother's Day to you all. Martha Bray, Perth Town, Sherwood, Duansville, happy Mother's Day. Hague, Daniel Town, Refuge, Duncans, Clarkstown. I got to come back to Clarkstown. Jacksontown, happy Mother's Day. Falmouth, Saltmarsh, Davis Pen, Johnsonville, where's down there now? Is Johns Hall? No, not Johns Hall. Scarlet Hall, all those places. Flamingo, happy Mother's Day to you all. Did I touch the gated communities of Florence Hall and the other side there alongside Coral Springs gated community. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Mother's Day greetings to all the mothers listening to Fit FM over there in the States. Again, at Goldburn in Atlanta. There are more people, I'm sure. There is Phoenix, well, that's HTHS too. There are so many other mothers out there in the UK, in Canada, some in Germany. Again, as I said, the US. Sabrina is out there. Did I mention Miss Williams? Did I mention Miss Williams at Long Bay? No. All right, and Happy Mother's Day. There is also Natanish Hines from 4-H. There is Paula from Social SDC Social Development Commission. There are mothers. If I didn't call your name, it's just that I'm confused with names right now. But a lot of mothers out there. We want to wish you a special Mother's Day here on Fit FM. We have no anniversary to talk about. Have we completed the Fit FM anniversary with last month, or we're going the full year? we're going the full year, but we always have to celebrate Fit. Those of us who are here, those of us who are the Fit FM family, always have to celebrate Fit FM's anniversary. Good job that Fit FM is doing here. Losses, or the loss of loved ones. First, I just want to heal up Faith McPherson. Her mother died on Mother's Day. Can you imagine? Mother's Day. We just wish that, we just wish that the Holy Comforter will come by you, stand by your family, stand with you, and help to see that you are, just reinforced, safe, and comforted. And that's a wish coming from, a prayer coming from Fit FM 96.7, as well as specifically Community Buzz. Also, certainly that mother in Clarkstown must be suffering a loss right now. So we want to, just sympathize with you in terms of your loss, and again ask the Comforter to come by you. There are other mothers who are mourning losses today because of crime and violence. We just want to again ask God's blessings, God's walking with you, the Comforter being with you to bear you up in the meantime. Because, sometimes when these things happen, the people who are not experiencing the pain don't really understand it. But those of you who are in it, you know what you're feeling. And we believe that, to empathize with you at this time of loss is really giving you as much support that we can give. And I hope that you and your family will stay strong. So just happy Mother's Day all over. Moving along from that, today is, for weeks now, we have not had a lot to be happy about. Between COVID and the murders we've not had a lot to be happy about. And so forgive me if I'm not chirpy. It's just Community Buzz is one of those real life programs, the reality. Yes, we're a music station and we try to keep everybody happy and and smiling, comforted through music, lifting you up in a spiritual way through music. Yes. But we have to face reality, and that's why we have our talk programs Monday to Thursday, Friday to Friday. Yes, to just be real and into the realness of life. I'm being coached as I speak by my producer. That is what Fit FM is all about. Yeah. So, coming from the minutes now, last week, we looked at roads. And incidentally, I drove on the Vanzilans Road last week, I think on Friday. And boy, is Vanzilans looking good in terms of road. So what I'm hoping for now is Vanzilans can easily become a model community. If one, they form their cities association or neighborhood watch, and two, they start to know alongside those nice, beautiful homes and houses to remove the zinc fences. Right? If you can have a project in Vanziland to remove the zinc fences, that will contribute to the upliftment of your community, the feeling good about your community, and it would perhaps encourage other communities to begin to pretty up, look good, and be proud of their communities. But your roads look good. Your roads look good, and certainly, Fit FM, as always, is actually today thanking the authorities for a job well done in that area. Again, just before it finished, I saw heavy-duty trucks driving on the road, and I am deathly afraid of the heavy-duty trucks on the inner roads, because the inner roads are not made for that kind of traffic, frequent or constant traffic. So sometimes when you see the road breakdown, it's not necessarily bad building of the road, but also the contributing factor is trucks or vehicles too heavy for that kind of road. Plus, you have, on the other hand, you have some utility companies that does excavation, and when one part is done, is excavated, you just can't get it back. The water come and the rain come and everything, the road begins to fall apart. It's just unraveling like fabric. So I hope you're proud of your roads and you're going to take care of it, and that now we can say credit to where credit is due. Thanks to the authorities, including the Member of Parliament, for a job well done. Well, on the face of it is a job well done, so we just want to know that it lasts a little bit. We're still on the question of Refuge Road and Stuart Castle Road and lighting, street lighting. And, incidentally, as I said, street lighting, we want we're dying for 2 street lights or so in this area. And JPS is reporting that at least 25 street lights have been stolen over the past few weeks or months. That JPS is like, so JPS put them up, somebody take them down, right? So, and that is another thing, another reason why you need community organizations such as Citizens Association and neighborhood watches, because you help to take care of the amenities that is given to you by the government. So notwithstanding JPS and the municipality, we're still asking for a couple of street lights in this area. We're asking for the roads to be done because the road is bad. Now it's dry time and it's bad. You can imagine how bad it is when it's wet time, because at times you can't, when you're driving in a puddle, you're not seeing what kind of hole you're really going down into until you get into it. So we're still asking for some relief in that area. As usual, last week we spoke about COVID-19. Again, every week we're going to do it. Oh, Rockbridge. I am never going to miss Rockbridge. Somebody please tell us something about Rockbridge now. Madam MP, tell us something about Rockbridge. It's been a while since you've been here. And when we spoke last time, we did mention Rockbridge, but we would really love if you could give us an update right now. Another person who could give us an update on Rockbridge is the councillor for that area, and I believe Garth Wilkinson, former mayor too, would have been the councillor for the Rock area between Rock and Falmouth, and should be able to give us some argument in relation to Rockbridge. So come and talk to us, please. We beg of you. All right. I said COVID-19. We dealt with COVID-19. My glasses. We dealt with the stool beating of the woman in Westmoreland. We dealt with the question, the allegations of the child molestation in other parts of the island, St. Anne in particular. And St. Anne just had a rash
of stuff happening there. The buggering of children, and you wonder what kind of time are we in? Yeah, and if you're not a Bible believer, don't tell me that you're not tempted to believe the Bible now. It just, the only other explanation that you can have is that this thing will go on a long time and we just never know about it, is because of social media. That's a thing. But it seemed to my mind, I've been on the face of this earth for a little bit of time, and it would seem to me that it is really getting worse right before my very eyes. I don't believe that it is a matter of it going on a long time, but we just never see it and stuff like that. It's just getting dread. It's really getting dread. And there is some amount of exposure that is related to the phenomenon being so frightening and all of that. But the truth of the matter is that it seems that it's happening so much closer home every time, and that's again another reason for us to form organizations in our community to stave off or try to stave off some of these incidents. I'll have more again to say about this because we're not done yet with that. So we had the Camilla Johnson Smith saga that was happening in the Senate with Senator Camilla Johnson Smith, as well as Senator Lambert Brown, who with him there was a double whammy because of the utterances in relation to jungle justice, which was, perhaps it's a part of all of us as men especially, but the House is not the best area or the best place to be promoting jungle justice, because the House is specifically set up to prevent jungle justice. The House is specifically set up to deal with how we navigate our issues as a nation. And outside of the House, we can't be promoting jungle justice. And I tell you another thing too. I think I heard Mr. Brown saying that the place was wrong for him to say it. Truth of the matter is that the place was not just wrong. You are the wrong person to have said it, Mr. Brown. You're the wrong person to have said it. And you should have been humble enough to just withdraw the whole thing and apologize for it, rather than that conditional kind of a statement that you put out, The sexual harassment issue, with Mrs. Johnson Smith seems to be dying down, which is a good thing. And particularly with the fact that she is in mourning right now, because her father has died, and her father was a very great man in terms of our diplomatic corps of Jamaica. I've always believed that this is the only area of perfection in Jamaica, our diplomatic corps. And we have never failed in that area. I don't know if we can succeed in that area. Why cannot we succeed like that in other areas? But Anthony Tony Johnson was a giant in terms of that, and stand shoulder to shoulder with any other of our chief diplomats in terms of the job that they had to do at the time when they had to do it. So we just want to put in Mr. Johnson as in our pockets of loss. Truth of the matter is that he lived to a ripe old age. He did good service, and we really could not ask him to live forever. So all we can do at this stage is to celebrate him at this stage, because he could not stay with us forever. We know that as a matter of life. And so we mourn with the family, because the family will always feel it as a loss, but then it's a celebration for Jamaica, considering the contribution that this man has made to our island home. Yeah, so farewell, Senator Johnson, and comfort to the family. In the minutes we dealt with the lockdown, and the results of the lockdown. Had a long conversation with one of my colleagues. I don't know how that turned out in terms of yours, but everybody has their say in Community Buzz, and I hope that you will be encouraged yourself to call us, text us at any point in time you feel. 876-482-4944 and 876-317-1991. That's Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music, and you would be talking to the one and only me, Ed Wallace. So we dealt with the COVID lockdown. We also dealt with Trinidad locking down itself again because of COVID. But since that, a new development, and this is just matters arising from the minutes, a new development is that Jamaica has decided now to put a ban on traveling to and from Trinidad. I'm not so sure how the Trinidadians are taking it. I heard a little bit of a rumble because Dr. Keith Rowley did say something, but somehow I didn't get it fully. And I hope that a row is not developing between our two Caribbean islands, the largest of the two English-speaking Caribbean islands. I hope definitely a row is not being developed. I respect Dr. Keith Rowley to the max, and I think we all can tell that I do respect my own honorable Prime Minister here in Jamaica with maximum respect. So that is out of the minutes. I don't know. We're going to give you time to just start positioning yourself to do your call and all of that kind of a thing. So we're going to take a short break and I'll be right back. All right? COVID news next.
Oh, Lord. I was buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating. Buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. Oh, I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating. Now all this time I've been blind, only running against the wind. Friends of mine lost with time after living a life of sin. Some many give up, many give in. It's my determination to win. I survived the worst of times. I survived. I was buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. Oh, now I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating. Oh, they made a ditch for one, but there would be two. In their attempt to hold my life, the wicked things they do. But Jamin, I brave, and I don't make brave. Oh no, the Lord is my salvation. Of whom shall I fear? I was buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. Alright, now I am alive. There must be a reason. heart still beating. One more time. I said, buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. Alright, I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, man, the vibe's kind of heavy in this day and age. Merci, Cinder, I see you. I see you there. I am bad, but I can see you. Thanks for joining us again. You're becoming a regular with us. From time to time, please just send us a text on your thoughts about whatever we're discussing here. So COVID-19, what we're looking at with COVID-19, it looked like the lockdown and thing working. It looked like it is effective in terms of limiting the spread of COVID. I'm not sure yet if the vaccination program is contributing anything, but certainly since the lockdown and the measures being taken by the government, it would seem that something is happening. So let me give you the numbers first. We have 46,782 cases up to yesterday. Don't know what happened today yet. So total cases from March of last year. That's 46,782. Let me say that again. The total number of deaths since for the same period is 809. 809. And then we have 23,234 active cases currently. So it's about half the cases, half of the total cases that we've had. They are active now. And then, oh, you know what I didn't get for you? When I tell you that the numbers are coming down, I should have written it down. I can't get it, but I think I remember it from just knocking it in my head. I think the number of cases that were confirmed yesterday after testing was 74. Yeah, the number of cases was 74. And so that is where I was coming from with my argument that it seems as if the lockdown is working. All right. And then my colleague questioned me on testing. I always like to get the numbers on sample tested. And we have somewhere in the region of 1,900 samples tested for yesterday's reading. All right. So when you talk about, what should I say? The rate at which COVID is running now, we're talking about 74, we said. That is way below 10%. Way below 10%. All right, so we're doing well in that respect. And hospitalizations, another good news, another piece of good news, 178 in hospital. And at one stage, we got up to 400, so we're doing quite fine with respect to the measures that we're taking. Where do we get into trouble? We get into trouble with finding a balance for full reopening of the economy. We get into trouble in finding that balance that is going to cause some people are going to feel some more pain because you still can't have the parties. How are you going to have the parties? You still can't pack up the restaurants because that becomes a risk. So balancing now to open up the economy is going to be, balancing to open the economy is going to be a challenge. My producer is joining me now.
See that you left your glasses and you're partially
Who laugh after me? Who laugh after me? Who is
and you
laughing at me?
and you can't see.
Who is laughing?
So let
at
me just let me just read something for you. Good afternoon, Mr. Wallace. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you to NSWA for collecting the garbage in Duncan's Hills on a weekly basis. It's appreciated. Annette from Duncan's Hills.
That's a good one.
This is good news.
Good one.
Yes,
yeah, that's a good one.
This is good report.
So, Annette, thank you for that report. I hope, Annette, that you'll keep me updated as to what is happening.
Annette will.
and there's another thing, Annette. If you have anything to do with anything in Duncan's Hill, see if you all can start your citizens association, because that would be a good thing to keep your services, help you keep your services going. So do that. Thanks again, Annette. Thanks for giving us that feedback. All right. Now, I was asking, are you laughing at me for my glasses, or somebody else laughing at me for me? You are always so cruel to me.
So you see, the note was addressed to Mr. Wallace. And see that Mr. Wallace can see
so you're going to read it for me. All right, thank you. But in your kindness, you that's not good kindness. All right. So the opening of the economy is a challenge, and how we're going to do that, how we're going to behave under that, because we need to make money. And the only way to make money really and truly is by interaction. Some of us can go online and get the job done, but there are those of us who have to be in contact with people, particularly people in the entertainment industry. And so the entertainment industry has been clamoring for the opening up. But can we really? Can we? Will we be risking a third and a fourth phase of COVID explosion on the island? We're not yet half vaccinated. Vaccination vials are just coming in right now, or just came in last week. And some of us are still refusing to be vaccinated. So how is it going to go? How is it going to play out? I can't tell you, because frankly, vaccination for me has been a personal choice. I got my first shot. I know, I don't know if it is my place, but I know others around me have gotten their first shot, and we're waiting, whether nervously or happily, we're waiting for the second shot to just be able to go around. In America, though, they're saying even after your second shot, when you're going into crowded areas, you must still wear your mask, etc., still practice the protocols and all of that. And the truth of the matter is, people, we might look at that and say it's foolishness, but COVID is new. We still don't know much about it. So we cannot begin to pretend to be so safe so soon. So I would continue to take the advice of the authorities in relation to how to deal and how to operate in this new COVID environment. Let me just say, I feel it for those people who are not able to be making some money right now. I really do. But then we're going to have to decide what is worth what, And for right now, I'm thinking the slowdown of activities may well be worth the lives saved. And by now, another thing I'm sure, by now, every single Jamaican should either know somebody who died from a COVID-related illness, or know somebody who knows somebody who died from so we know COVID is real. We know very well that COVID is real. And so we need to take those precautions. If me dead is not an option, right? Because it's not just the dying that we're going to die, but the hospital space that we're going to occupy, the energies that we're going to draw to try to get you better rather than to have individuals die. Those are the costs associated with carelessness. So it would be better if you not give up. Just follow the protocol. So COVID aside, and the need to open the economy, that aside, as I say, a challenge. That aside, though, We've had a couple of murders recently, and one particularly in Clarkstown, Trelawney. If I recall clearly, we have had at least 3 murders in this section of Trelawney and about 7 across the whole parish in the last few months, including that little baby girl, little baby Brown up there in Upper Trelawney. Yeah. We've had about 7. But what is really causing alarm and concern is this issue of violence against women. And I will continue to be at pains to say that I really don't believe that we have a violence against women problem. I don't believe there are any groups of men sitting down and planning violence against women in Jamaica. Not specifically. Not because of gender. I don't believe that there are any groups or there is any group sitting down and planning violence against children. Or for that matter, violence against the church, for that matter, violence against people of faith, violence against any other grouping. I continue to say that we have the problem of a violent society. A violent society. Our greetings are violent. Our howdy-do's are violent. Our jests are violent. We have come into this culture of violence, perhaps dating back a long time. But when we bend the narrative around any particular group, we're missing the point. No, women bear the brunt of the burden in terms of domestic violence. And we can work around that to try to find a solve. But when we continue to paint the narrative of violence against women, I say again, we're setting up an unnecessary and ungodly gender war. When women start to bring mace specifically for fighting off men, something has gone awry. And I'm saying that even if we had violence against women problem, the solution to the problem cannot be mitigation and isolation of men. And mitigation means, this I think pretty much the same thing as isolation. You know, we can solve the problem militating against men. The problem that we have is not even solvable by focusing on women. Women, protect yourself, women do this, women do that. I don't think the problem is even solvable that way. The solve of this problem that exists in domestic violence, where men are more prevalent with it, that violence as a whole, because men are the main perpetrators of violence. The solution rests in the population of men, not in having women isolate men, but in trying to treat the problem of men themselves. And so I continue to say, because on the overall, I gave the statistics that is given by the police. On the overall, we have 15 to 19% of violence being perpetrated against women. Is it all right that the other 80 is being perpetrated against men? That cannot be. So we have a violence problem to solve. So here it is now in a domestic violence, because again, some breakdown has to be done, but the general problem is that we have, for everything, we draw for violence as Jamaican. So here we have this young woman with this man in Clarkstown, a young woman with an older man. Again, sometimes it happens with same age people too. But here we have a couple cohabiting. And they have obviously an issue. And the solve is violence. I don't think that man who killed that woman in Clarkstown went to consult with any friend to kill her. There's not a conspiracy. There is no conspiracy. Something is wrong within our social fabric that we need to find and fix. And we cannot fix it by isolating women from men. It can't be done that way. In the short term, a few days ago, if not yesterday, a man and his friend out having fun. His friend. And they develop an argument over what? I can tell you that whatever they argued about is not something that is substantial to the existence of their home. I am of the full belief that it is not. But the argument got heated enough for violence to come into play. I sit down and watch some domino games. And believe you me, I am afraid to I'm afraid to stay around those domino games. In fact, from what I see happening around domino tables, I stop calling the game dominoes. I start calling that game now casino. Because it's pure cussing. And it's all done on a level that most times it ends well with everybody coming back to say, okay, yeah, the game this and game that. But it is in the heat of the moment, all of that violence, one wrong move, and you have a real fight breaking out. Yeah? So these two friends are arguing. And it is alleged that one hit the other, and then the other, in retaliation, drew for his firearm. And the next thing you know, our friend is dead. No, it's not just one dead, you know. I'm a friend, I just kill, you know. I'm a friend, I just kill. All in the heat of the moment. All because we seem not to know better than violence to solve our problems. I'm going to put it to the government of Jamaica again. And Fit FM is not responsible for this comment. If they disagree, organization can apologize, and in addition to that, fire me, terminate my service. Yeah, Fit FM, I have that option. So I won't give Fit FM. And you know, when I come off with my personal thoughts, I don't give the responsibility to Fit FM. I never do. But I would love to gain the support of Jamaica to have the dismantling of the Ministry of Gender Affairs to be replaced with a ministry of Family and Community Affairs. All that the gender portfolio does can be folded into this ministry, but the ministry would be charged with assisting in rebuilding families. So we have that ministry that is going to take care of those issues. Social Development Commission is doing a good job in the communities. They're doing cricket, they're doing all kind of things. They're empowering people. But there is another level that we need to go. And that is to secure and protect families. Secure and protect families. And the only way we can do that is to actually involve the families. Because the men who fly up in a rage and kill their spouses, they're in the confines of the family. The women who kill their spouses or throw hot water or acid on them is within the confines of the family. And we're having the same problem, not being able to solve problems without violence. So the problem is not a conspiracy against one or the other or against each other. That's not what is happening. So the gender ministry would have been responsible now to ensuring that there's a proper sequence of, what should I say, sensitizing and educating towards problem solving in the home. The government is now building a lot of houses, or intend to build a lot of houses. Yesterday, I think, or over the weekend, somewhere between Friday and now, the Prime Minister went to launch an affordable housing scheme. I'm saying, Mr. Prime Minister, that, and even before I said that, I'm going to come back to that. Moving from the Ministry of Family and Community Affairs, charged with bringing back our family together and a sense of family, eating around the dining table, having breakfast together, all of that. We also need some legislation, some pro-family legislation. And if only the church alone may be gonna do, if you agree with me, we need some pro-family legislations. Now, I guess you can agree with me in parts, because not all of what I'm about to say you're going to agree with. But the legislation of a homewrecker legislation should be in place. No man or no woman is supposed to go in a family, go broke it up in such a way that murder is committed. That should be made illegal. That should be made illegal. If you want extramarital sex, then the provision for you is prostitution. So we make legal prostitution. So when a man is caught with a woman, he's caught with a prostitute. If his wife wants to go and divorce him because of that, but a woman to walk into a family's life and mash it up. Joe, I don't know who me call Joe. Don't walk in a family's life and mash it up and get away scotch-free. And at the end of the day, somebody within the family is dead. Yes, there are choices. But if we are to save ourselves as a nation, we're going to have to put in some pro-family legislation. Have to put in some so that the family is protected. Now, it's not Maslow first said so. It was actually somewhere between Plato and Socrates who identified the fact that sex is a basic need of man, the human person. And some want more than others. I don't think that we should legislate against people having sex if they want to. And I really don't think that we should legislate against prostitution. The only thing that I will object to is taxation of prostitution. That's the only thing I would have objected to. We cannot take money to run our country of prostitution if in fact we felt that it was so dirty in the first place. A woman who is willing to do that should keep what she earned. So that now she don't have to depend on a woman's husband to be with him, to form a relationship, to take him away from the home. If him go out there go buy a film business, but she know that she's going to go to jail if she try to take the woman's husband. No sound good to some people. But that am myself. You need to come up with yours. 876-482-4944. 876-317-1991. Are we close to a break? Yeah.
Hey. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no. Oh, 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 yeah. If I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Rather than this love, comfort me. See you. I'm not worried about tomorrow. My life is in His hands, and I'm not worried about my sorrows. I'm here at His command. Gives me strength when I need it. Supply always demand. So when I call upon His name, I know my life won't be the same. Oh, protect me from my friends, oh Lord, and I will watch my foes. Those who wanna eat upon my flesh, protect me from those crows. Here I am at your service, oh Almighty God. And if I call upon your name, I know my life won't be the same. No, watch me, Lord, in my time of need. Watch me, Lord. Watch me, Lord, and increase my speed. Watch me, Lord, yes. Watch me, Lord, in my time of need. Watch me, Lord. I beg you, watch me, Lord, today. Without you, there's no other way. Oh, watch me, Lord, in my time of need. Watch me, Lord. Hey, watch me, Lord, and increase my speed. Watch me, Lord, yes. Watch me, Lord, in my time of need. Watch me, Lord. I beg you, watch me, Lord, today. Without you, there's no other way. Oh, tomorrow is not promised. Right now it's very short. So while I'm living at this moment, my actions must be pure. Help me through all my trials. So on this journey I'll endure. So when I call upon your name, I know my life won't be the same. So with a clean heart and a pure mind, some pure fruits from a pure mind. Try the earth with a clean mind, and know my soul be fine. Oh, watch me, Lord, in my time of need. Watch me, Lord. No, watch me, Lord. No, let them cut my speech. Watch me, Lord. Watch me, Lord. In my time of need, watch me, I beg you, watch me, Lord, today. Without you, there's no other way. No, 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 no. Watch me, Lord, in my time of
Watch me, Lord, Christopher Martin. Yeah, man. You're in Community Buzz with Ed Wallace, the controversial one, this Monday afternoon. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And we're talking the real thing. And there's no one right answer to the problems that we're having. There's no one correct answer. And so that I table my opinion as to some of the things that I have thought of. I hope that you have some solutions too that you could come with. Because I listened to a lady in church last week, Child's Month service, advocating the castration of men who get involved in child sex abuse. And I realized that this woman didn't know what she was talking about even. because castration is the removal of the function of the testicles. He still has a phallus. So him still can do damage, the man that is. So you can see that people are, and maybe I shouldn't come down on her so hard, but look more at it as a response of desperation. But we'll get to that. So I know the headline is going to be that Ed Wallace promotes the legalization of prostitution. It will go down to the logic that says to you, for the protection of the family, and make it work. So we are Fit FM 96.7. You're asking. We are Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music here in Duncan's Trelawney. Yeah, Jamaica, West Indies, Western Hemisphere, beside America. So seriously, this is Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. And we are in Duncan's Trelawney, the island of Jamaica, in the Caribbean. All right. Welcome, listener. Welcome. We are happy to have you from all over the world. Yeah. All right. So, by the way, don't believe that these are not problems. The problems that we are having, that other people don't have them too. Other countries don't have these problems. At the next level of myself, so we went Ministry of Family and Community Affairs, right? We went legislation, pro-family legislations, yeah? Then we're going to go now, incentive for the formalization of families. That's the next thing. So I was saying that the government is having a whole lot of housing projects now coming up. Can the government set aside housing units to distribute to newly married couples or couples that have been married within the last 5 years? Can we use that as an incentive for the formulation of families? So when we're distributing government houses, young families get the first preference. Would that be a bad thing? Would that be a bad thing for two teachers, two police, a police and a teacher getting married at the age of their mid or upper 20s, seeing a benefit from the government that supports the building of their union and their family? Could we do that? Is that a possibility? Is it a possibility that we could put them in a lottery draw? Is it a possibility that we could get the church involved in the recommendations of these folks? Oh, not the church. Forgive me. Forgive me, not the church. People of faith, whether you are Rastafarian, Revivalist, or Baptist, you get the same opportunity to recommend a couple or couples for their government support in forming formal families. Can that be done? Is it possible? Would it be within our constitution to be able to do that? Could it be that we could offer other benefits coming out of government to families, formalized families? Could it be that some additional schooling incentive could come for families whose children are doing well in school just because they're doing well and behaving themselves? Could it be that a little package could go to those families? Could there be an incentive towards supporting the formulation of solid families? I'm asking. I'm thinking yes, but I'm still putting it to you. 876-482-4944. You remember that number, 876-317-1991. Call me because I'm looking for some ideas, please. So the next thing that we remember, crime we are trying to solve, and remember, on the front end, we're trying to deal with some of the leading indicators, which is to fix our society, to try to fix our society. So we have sensitization about certain issues and education program about certain issues. When you have, and I'd left out something of the legislation, when you have a domestic dispute in which violence was used but nobody was killed and the couple are intending to stay together, can we have classes, psychological classes, designed to help those people? Can we sentence them to a 6 weeks course in anger management, in resolution of conflicts? Can we sentence them to that? So all that would fall under the auspices of the Ministry of Family and Community Affairs. All right? So we have the housing thing. Then now to extend the community, that we have community participation in every level. Where you have a school board, then the areas that the school board serve, the schools serve, where you have a school board for a school, the areas that are served, directly served by the schools, that you have representatives of those areas sitting on the school board, that you allow the community to own the school, that you develop a board for the community center, and that you have community members sitting on the Center for the Community Center board. That can we begin to, and perhaps we have some organizations that look like that currently, but can we begin to form them to look that way? Can we step away from the Asamba philosophy? Can we step away from the Asamba philosophy? People will recall in the heat of the politics, Mrs. Asamba saying, I build a board, and I call it a board. I call it an all-inclusive board, but I make sure that it's pure PNP sitting on it. Can we step away from the JLP and PNP board and begin to have some civic board? Oh, she said I call it a civic board, but I make sure that is. Can we step away from that philosophy? Is that possible? Is it possible that every organization of that nature, we give the responsibility to the community, while we give organizations like SDC continued oversight? People want to be responsible. You know? What we have is a system that comes into communities and tell people what they are to do and what is going to be done. And we're not really empowering people. We're mostly dictating. And if we were not dictating in the first place, in order to get our jobs done in the social services, we begin to dictate because we don't have the time to sensitize people, to train people, to come into their own, to take over their communities and their community organizations. So what we have done is that we have trained people to come to some of those meetings that we're having that could, an organization that could turn out for good. We're actually calling out for people to come and listen to what we're going to tell them that they should do. Now I know that from time to time there are voice-verse persons in the audience who make sure that their feelings are heard and all that kind of thing. But we need to to kind of just hone it in properly and make it work more efficiently, make it work better. Make it work better. So we have the community involvement. If we stick to this, over time, and by now most of you may know that I'm a occupational health and safety professional. We have a thing called a culture chart in occupational health and safety. And on that culture chart, at the bottom of the chart, is the phase of reactivity, where we are reactive to what is happening around us. But if we work at it and work at it, we will come to another stage where we are conforming with the rules. We now see the value of the rule and now we're conforming. Then there's another phase where we become a little bit more independent. So now we have taken over the destiny of our community. I'm using the culture chart from occupational health and safety to kind of present a chart to you for how the community development could work in terms of community leadership and participation, minus the Asamba philosophy. And then we reach to a phase of independence where they can operate alone. The community can operate by themselves. So now they take the records into SDC. They tell SDC what is happening. They report everything to SDC, bring SDC up to date. At that time, you don't even really need an SDC officer because cities association presidents and neighborhood watch leaders and all of that take over the whole thing and they're running it. And after that phase, if you can get to the independent phase, the next is the interdependent phase where you begin to spread the news and supporting other communities. And we do that. Is that possible? Is it possible that we could develop this ministry that just kind of have this flow as we move towards a kind of gentler society, a society where we don't have to talk about violence against women, a society where we don't have to talk about violence against children, a society that is more peaceful, a society that can sustain itself socially. Is it possible? A society in which no person has the right to try to break up a family. By the way, in the legislation too, if you're caught in adultery, you now get your wife will get 2/3 or your husband will get 2/3 depending in the terms of the separation, and another 1/3 is going to be drawn from the home wrecker. So no prisoner don't even have to involve. Home wrecker have a car, and the only thing you have a car in silly because 1/3 of the value of the car will go into his or her part in the home wrecking. But can we begin to be serious about our community? So the other day, I saw the Prime Minister in the newspaper reading to children on a lawn. And it's a good thing. Perhaps something copied from the United States where we see on 9/11, if you recall, George Bush was in a classroom reading to children, President of the United States. Mr. Obama used to do that on a regular basis too. I don't know if Mr. Trump can read. And me, I've never seen Mr. Trump do it. So we've seen several examples of that happening. There are other countries who don't bother with that. Depends on their need. But our Prime Minister seemed to have adopted it because he feels that there's some benefit to it. And my comment to it, because I feel that there's benefit to it too, was that perhaps Mr. Prime Minister should have widened that situation. While you have the children reading to in front of you, but have Google School cameras rolling for the rest of the island. I don't know. Prime Minister is going to read to us today. All of us, we're on our gadgets and things like that. So we hear the Prime Minister read. If we can grab a question out of a student from Westmoreland to the Prime Minister, we also grab it too. But I don't know. That reading thing could be a positive thing on the part of the Prime Minister. I don't know if the MPs want to pick it up. To sometimes go into a school and read for the school or for a grade. I don't know if that's something that the member of parliaments could pick up. But certainly, as we move towards a kind of gentle society, if that is what we intend to do, then there are some gestures, might not be anything substantial, but some gestures that we can have. You remember, we have the national prayer breakfast, and that is carried on news. Now we have technology to just carry the national prayer breakfast across the island through Zoom or other platforms. We can have the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, everybody having breakfast with the whole nation on Zoom. So we have all this technology, and believe you me, this little single instrument here that we have called a phone, smartphone nowadays, has more potential, more power, more of everything than the technology, more technology than the technology that was used to take man to the moon. That is what we have in the palm of our hands now. More technology than what took Neil Armstrong to the moon. So this is a very powerful tool that we could use. So when we have Jamaica, it is possible to have Jamaica have breakfast as a family. It is possible. It is technically possible. Why don't we try that? And while we're at it, why don't we promote a Jamaican breakfast so that the farmers can be built into this nicely and easily as we move towards building a kind of gentler society? Is that possible? Is that possible? One of the people, may I ask you now, 876-482-4944, you're on Fit FM and you're in the Buzz, Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Come on, please, talk to me. These are ideas. I sit down day and night and think about them things, yeah. There are perhaps some foolishness in it, but if you help me think it out, if you brainstorm with me, perhaps it will get better. Talk to me. Could you talk to me? 876-482-4944, 876-317-1991. Talk to me by WhatsApp, text. You can call in voice. You can talk to me by virtue of voice note. Yeah, I did tell them 317-1991. All right. So you can call on that line and we'll hear you. In the meantime, as you contemplate that, enough me put on a plate this afternoon. I'm putting a lot on your plates this afternoon. A lot. In the meantime, as we run with this violence theme and trying to deal with the violence theme, in St. Mary recently, we had an incident. Big one, massive incident. And I want you to hear about it from the police themselves. From Portland, sorry. Buffy is in Portland? Yeah, Portland. So you're going to hear it roundabout now. Just listen and tell me what you see going on. Yeah, because I contend to you that
I'd like to start by commending the men and women of Portland for the tremendous work that they have done in the interception of this vehicle and the recovery of the 18 firearms. These 18 firearms include 10 pistols, 5 revolvers, 2 shotguns, 1 Intratec submachine gun, 1,279 rounds of assorted ammunition, and 11 magazines. This is as a result of, as I said before, tremendous work, a show of patience and tenacity by the men and women of Portland. We were acting on intelligence that these guns were coming in from Haiti. As a result, we started an operation from last night. We are certain that this is a part of the gun for jugs trade. And we are now realizing that it's alive and well. And so this would have then put a big dent in that operation. 18 guns is a large cache of arms. And as such, really and truly, I think the police ought to be highly commended for the work.
What are we doing, Jamaica? What are we doing? Do we really think that it's violence against any particular demographic grouping? Do we really think that? Do we this violence thing in Jamaica really and truly is an equal opportunity kind of a situation? Anybody. So we really have to get control of this. In Kingston, we're talking about 18 guns and over 2,000 rounds of ammunition. Oh, by the way, that was Assistant Commissioner, I think, but his name is Elon Powell, all right? And that was him relating that. Today, in Kingston, Trafalgar and Hope Road, big shootout between gunmen and the police in the middle of the streets. 2 gunmen dead. 2 gunmen dead. What are we doing, Jamaica? And remember, what I just put forward earlier on is an attempt to build a country village by village, town by town. We don't have to get it. It's not going to happen one time. Sometimes some people have to look at other community and say, boy, them are going good. We have to go model them. How them do it, rate it. But this violence, this love for violence, we're going to have to stop it. From my born till now, I've been going to weddings and hearing the same one story. Teeth and tongue must meet. There are going to be conflicts. Not just that all people have said, there are going to be conflicts. But how we resolve our conflicts? Is just mess. It's just simply mess. So what we're trying to accomplish here, and I'm still begging your input, is a question of how do we approach this? How do we approach this? And I don't believe that more violence is the answer. And by more violence, I mean what the law says goes. If the death penalty is enforced, it goes. If cutting off of testicles is what the law says, then it goes. But those cannot be the only solutions. It cannot be the only solutions. As a matter of fact, those have proven over time, death penalty in particular, has proven over time that it is not a deterrent, it is not a solve to our crime issue. Prison is not. Truth of the matter is nobody was born a criminal. Nobody was born a criminal. You were born with a blank slate. So it is something that we can handle. So we have segued into the police and gunfight and gun collections and all that kind of thing. But then you hear a policeman saying, maybe a fact, think it's perhaps a fact. Not all criminals will be caught. And he outlines that criminals are moving from town to town, city to city, exchanging favors. You kill somebody for me here, go back to where you live. I will send somebody to kill somebody there where you live, and they come back home, and so on and so forth. They're trading favors as a part of their criminal activities. And there's some amount of giving up that is happening. There's some amount of surrender I sense is happening. Because even though it might be a reality, I'm not so sure that is something that we have to preach, that not all criminals are going to get caught. Criminals should more feel a level of certainty that they will be caught, and then by luck them get away. So now it comes to the question of policing. And this senior policeman is saying that the crop of police that we have is going to have to step up their games, and the crop of police coming in, the recruitment, going to have to be very different. They just have to be more up to the task in more ways than one. And in so saying, I think that police, that crime chief, that police chief has made a statement in relation to the training and the preparation of officers to go on the street. I want to suggest another change in Jamaican society. You know, generally speaking, our top leaders not really feel us. When you think about Bustamante, Norman Manley, Michael Manley, Eddie Siaga, generally speaking, them not feel us, you know. If you think about P.J. Patterson, Bruce Golden, Portia Simpson Miller, Andrew Wallace, I don't think they've failed us like we have failed them. I don't think that they have failed us like we have failed them. I don't think any of them came into office with a plan to destroy Jamaica. But we have managed to oversee the destruction of Jamaica over years. And so we see some things happening that shouldn't be happening. I say all of that because I want to pick out Mr. Siaga actually, and in the field of education. I think it is time. That we look at the needs of our country and begin to formulate our curriculum around our needs again. When Hart developed first time round, Hart was being developed for the production of a workforce to suit existing need at the time. That's how Hart was developed. It was developed to prepare a labor force for the need at that time. I want to tell you that some of our needs have changed. And one of them is that we need better prepared pre-trainees for the police force. And I'm suggesting that in select high schools, a training curriculum is put in, an educational curriculum is put in to, if not select all, could be all, but at least select. But a curriculum be put in to begin to prepare students for things like police work too. Secondary school education to prepare people for law enforcement work. I'm not so sure necessarily how it would be done. But if you need good police, a different crop of police, then you're going to have to educate them a different way. And if we can start from high school, and they don't have to do policing work after they're done high school. They can go into security companies. They're just in law enforcement. If that is what they like, they can go into security companies. They can join the army. But by then, you would have had a profile on these students. You would have known that they did good in civics, for example. So they know a little bit about the rights of Jamaica. They know a little bit about the history of Jamaica. Right? A little bit of the constitution and rights of the citizen could be mixed in there. It don't have to be a 4-year course, maybe a 1-year course, maybe a 6-month course. But to begin to prepare the minds of those who might want to pursue a career in law enforcement. Law enforcement big enough. Because now we're looking at cybercrime. We're looking at all kinds of other crime that really and truly the officer who made the observation and the comment eventually is correct. We're going to need a new crop of crime fighters. And I don't believe that that crop comes out of the police training school. So we might have to develop a curriculum, whether for schools in general or for select schools, so that we have a nice little crop to choose from. I don't know how it can work out, but that's an idea. Crime fighting cannot be the same. In cadet, we used to learn things like camouflage, and we march up and down and we go to 3GR and we're able to handle a rifle, a 303 in particular, and so on. But now we need to put some brains behind some structured training, I believe, because the country has a need in this area. I don't know what you think about it. Again, this is Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. You're in the community. Buzz. And this is Ed Wallace, your host. I'm trying to throw out some ideas, hoping that you will respond. Numbers 876-482-4944, 876-317-1991. We take a short break. We come right back.
Tuesday mornings on Fit FM, it's all about worship and praise. Hey, join me, the Reverend Juniority, on Fit FM 96.7, 8:30 a.m. through 10 a.m. for Praise Up Tuesday, your mid-morning experience. Come with me every Tuesday as we send up the praises to our God on this station, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Y'all got it now. Help us sing it. Every praise.
Have you ever desired to experience rebirth in your body, mind, and soul? Then join me, your host, Pastor Chidale Smallwood, aka The Poetic Revolution, on Fit FM 96.7 every Tuesday evening at 6 inside Gospel and Soul for Rebirth, where redemption eventually brings into reality total healing. That is Rebirth on Fit FM 96.7 Gospel and Soul. Your life, your music.
Restoration Ministries presents Talk with Rev, with host Rev Rowan Dunn, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. You can also join us on YouTube, Facebook at Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was bound, but now I'm free.
Hi there, I'm Carlene Street, inviting you to join me every Sunday on Fit FM 96.7 for We Lickle But With Talawa, a program highlighting Jamaicans who are making significant contributions abroad and their impact on our communities. That's We Lickle But With Talawa, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. with a repeat on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
The whispers in the morning.
It's exciting, sometimes romantic, and always informational. It's Love Stories on Fit FM 96.7, Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join me, Queen G, for cutting-edge conversations and advice about love and relationships to spice up your love life. Love Stories, building healthy relationships. Don't miss it.
'Cause I am your lady.
Hi there, I'm Julia Mika Benaya. Join me weekday evenings at 6 p.m. for Gospel and Soul, a program that gives you the very best in gospel music from Jamaica and around the world. That's Gospel and Soul, weekday evenings at 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Yes, off-air conversation sweeter than the on-air one. I tell you. Well, if you want to join us, all you have to do is call us give you a hint. We backtracked to some of my we were backtracking to some of my proposals to protect family and to bring us into a more peaceful, gentle and peaceful society. And the part of interest, is going to be prostitution. So I said I want to go. But back on how we train our society, how we prepare for our life. You see, I've often looked at remember, people, please remember, 876-482-4944 and 876-317-1991 for any little discussion you want to have, any little note that you want to make. And if you want to talk, we're ready to talk. All right? Now, getting back a little bit to that curriculum that would be developed towards our needs, our immediate needs, because we have to be flexible like that. In the late 1930s, just to give an example, in the late 1930s, when the war machine was floundering, both in England and in America, women were brought into the workforce in a different kind of way to make sure that the crisis at hand was prepared for. So women went into industry where jobs that were usually covered by men to get that done while the men were actually at war. So getting the tanks and the shells and the this and the that on the war front, women were on the back end preparing, and they had to be retrained to do that. I'm saying that Jamaica is at war. And so the curriculum needs to be changed, and we need to bring in some young people from early in terms of dealing or assisting in dealing with criminality and the criminal element in Jamaica. That's all I'm saying. The concept has been used before in other areas, applied at other times. We can reapply it now. It's a worthwhile concept. So to give to the police force the quality material that it needs to work with in terms of human resources, we start prepping them from early. And what the subjects in that area of education looks like, I might not be willing to say no. But we have to begin to look. I think it would be good for us to begin to look at this situation. You've heard me before saying them should have take Barrack School and make it into a maritime academy, secondary academy, where students can go learn marine stuff right there by the sea, boat repairs, marine environmental studies, marine sports, water sports, all that kind of thing could be developed right there. I mean, I say Falmouth because I'm partial to Falmouth, all right? But you have over in St. Elizabeth places where it could be done too. Why? Jamaica is surrounded by water. 99% of us can't swim. Yet Jamaica is surrounded by the Wallace Sea. There are a whole lot of resources associated with the sea from which we can make money, but we have not developed an industry around the sea except for fishing. So we can develop curriculum down to even the secondary level to meet our needs in terms of existing needs and to diversify. The diversification of our economy is perhaps also embedded in such a concept. We just need to think and not afraid to talk, because sometimes what we're saying might sound foolish, but not afraid for the laugh, because sometimes I just saw it go. When the first man said the world was round instead of flat, a whole heap of ridiculing get. When Galileo said the earth revolve around the sun and not the other way, him nearly get, well, him get excommunicated from the church at one point in time, and him nearly lose his life over it. Yeah? We are not at that extreme. So use 876-482-4944 to come and express your view. Use 876-317-1991 to come and express your thoughts as we go along. So we have ministry, we have Ministry of Family and Community Affairs. We now have a little input from me on what we can do to enhance our crime fighting from the perspective of police resource or police human resource. Now, we'll go to another matter. You know, sometimes the newspapers carry the news in sensational way and become misleading. It becomes misleading. So I was kind of, at best, disappointed, at worst, angry, when I read the headline that there were people in the diaspora gathering funds from people in the diaspora, $10 per something, to accumulate 10 million US dollars to spend in crime fighting in Jamaica. And the government of Jamaica is not going to touch 1 red cent of the money. Now, if somebody in the diaspora said that, at best, that was very undiplomatic. Not to mention stupid. Because I don't know how you're going to pour resources into the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force, and is not the government getting it. I understand that they were saying that that no money is going into the consolidated fund. Okay, cool. But in this day and age, to make a statement like that, if it was made, not Jamaican government not going to get 1 red cent, is undiplomatic, could be considered rude, could be considered stupid, but it also could be very dangerous. It also could be very dangerous. There's a reason why police officers are not allowed to take certain gifts. And there are reasons why the police force in itself is not allowed to take certain gifts. Because the idea of influence by virtue of gifting is equal to corruption. No one, nobody in the diaspora feel that the Jamaica Defense Force or the police force is for sale. You see, I read the writing of a Facebook friend of mine the other day, speaking to that couple. I call it the NRA wedding, National Rifle Association wedding, we saw their picture on Facebook with the guns at their wedding. And one of my Facebook friends, prominent person in Jamaica, spoke to it and began to push it, a narrative in the direction of police, or that was indicative, or that was some way related to a concept of the militarization of Jamaica. I couldn't see it then, and I don't see it now. But when was it a Lance Corporal, I think, that headed up this collection drive? As I read it, I think it's a Lance Corporal. Headed up this collection drive. When a Lance Corporal and past members of the JDF and past members of the police force are at the tip of this particular spear, I become weary. Some might not talk about the Jamaica government now, me get 1 red cent. It could not be that you're planning to buy our forces in your favor. If I do not think about, stop it. Keep on a $10. Keep on a $10. Keep on a $10. All of what was said in terms of not putting money into the consolidated fund perhaps is right. Perhaps is right. When money going at the consolidated fund, generally speaking, people feel say it go elsewhere, we never for going in the first place. Right? But if you're about to gift Jamaica and Jamaica properly, whatever the administration, if you're gonna hollow out the government of Jamaica not getting 1 red cent, it's foolish. Because at the end of the day, if you say that you're going to use your $10 million and buy 100 police cars, all the government has to do is to pull back spending that it needed to spend on police cars for a year and keep that in the consolidated funds and do what they need to do with it. So the idea is as at best stupid and disrespectful of your own government. And it reminds me of a term I use for some diaspora people, qualified by visa. So you don't take your qualified by visa self and come to us with this kind of foolishness. As I tell you, I hear that some military people are in it, or ex-military. Hitler was a corporal. Adolf Hitler was a corporal. So when you come with an uppity self, no come against Jamaica. Because we give it back. We will not take it. We will give it back. So the Honorable Prime Minister has not responded to that. I've not heard the Minister of National Security saying anything about it, nor the opposition spokesperson on the issue. But when UNWA send on a barrel come, members say we can do without it. We now got dead for lack of a barrel. As a matter of fact, we might dead with some barrel when us send come, because some of them barrel they carry gun. So we're going to go back to that 18 gun that was discovered, albeit the police lead is that it came through the gun for drugs trade with Haiti. But we cannot disrespect our country in a them kind of way. Because we with this on the back. We are yard with this on the back. So your barrel not really impress me. The barrel not really impress me. The government of Jamaica has, through its relationship with other countries, built so much road. Years now. You think your $10 million can shake the government when the government decide to do redirect spending to where it want to put it? Not one red cent. What kind of argument that towards your government? That's why I don't want to no vote down here neither, because I'm not living in the situation and I try farm government. This is ludicrous. Ludicrous. And as I say, Fit FM is not responsible for these utterances. I just Ed Wallace says so. It's an opinion. Can't disrespect the flag. Can't disrespect our government. You want to give a gift, come quietly and talk. Say that you want the fund to be specifically used here. Say that you want permission to spend the fund. But you can't see. We have a government running. We have a running government, for better or for worse. And you're going to put money in a government organization such as security and defense, and the government have no talk? What kind of argument that? The government of Jamaica don't have no talk? Back up the diaspora. Back up. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Unless you have a different plan. Unless this gift is a sinister plan. Unless you're trying to buy out the Jamaican armed forces for your own purposes. Be careful. Be careful. And I'm saying it based on what the newspaper reported. Not one red cent. I think that is disrespectful at best, sinister at worst. I am willing to take your calls. Community Buzz with Ed Wallace on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. 876 482 4944. 876 317 1991. We're up for a break. We're up for a break. We'll be right back. Just make a call, man. I don't can vex you, make a call and call them, man. It's your program, really. I don't allow me to talk so much. So please, call us.
Try to get a job today, but when I'm to the application, then they say, if this is where you really reside, please step outside. She asked them why, and they replied, yeah. We don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Yeah. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day. Yeah. For our safety, that's where you should stay. Yeah. She traded in a 3-piece for a 2. Everything and anything she wanted to do. Went back to her side of town. In bed she lay down. All she could hear was, we don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Yeah. 'Cause lady, where you come from, people die there every day. And for our safety, that's where you should stay. It's easier to give in to the pressures of life. It's harder to get over when you're trying to do right. But just stay focused and keep your goals inside. Been through school, passed every test, graduated above the rest. Under society still looks down. They do this why they don't want us to try. So they'll reply, hey, we don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble no day. Hey. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day. For our safety, that's where you should. We don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble no day. Yeah. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day. For our safety, that's where you should. We don't want no more.
We're back. I tell you, this Monday afternoon community buzz. When I say you not talk to me yet, I will want to talk because I don't know. I guess we have much that we can talk about. Much that we can talk about. What is happening is that you won't talk to me, but please tell me, what are you thinking in relation to this violence by gender kind of a thing? Do you really think that we have a violence against women's problem, women's problem, as opposed to a violent society, really? Everybody taking one-upmanship. If you have a little power, you use it against your brother because he or she has a little less power. If it is the power of money like the $10 million, you use it to strong arm if you can. If it's the power of brute force and muscle strength and you have it over your brother, you use it. If it's the power of a gun and you have it over another individual, you use it. What is Jamaica facing? How do you see it? Please, I'm asking you to talk to me. We have a half an hour going on the downside of 5. So while we kind of await something from one of you or all of you, or don't all shout out at one time. I don't know if my producer wants to just spin a little tune lowly and we just listen to a good tune relating to what we are facing. Power and the Glory would be a good tune. Yeah, I'm sorry. But our struggle is real. Our struggle is real as a country. Our struggle is real as communities. And we have to not be hypocritical about our situation. And we should not want to take advantage of each other because we know that we're in a situation. And while we're in that situation, there are individuals who might be stronger than other individuals and just showing pure force by virtue of what resource they have available to them. We're together.
The kingdom goes to waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are tied behind the back, while certain people if and but in. Where do we stand? have too far to go, not to really know just how we getting there. And if we're getting anywhere, we have too much to change, not to know the range of possibility and changeability. Violence and crime is commonplace in these said times. No man walk free. Prophecy come closer to fulfillment in these dread times. Why should this be? And as we fight one another for the power and the glory, Jah kingdom goes to waste, and every drop of blood we tears. I feel we won this grace, yeah. I feel we won this grace. Can't build no foundation on a if and but. Are we building a nation, or are we building a hut? And every time you ask for some old friend, you hear said just last night, it made a sad, sad end. And if you talk too loud, and if you walk too proud, watch where you lay your head. For all that dread, well dread, can't build no dreams on a fuss and fight. We no care who I do it, just say that not right. And as we fight one another for the power and the glory.
Right, so yes, as we fight one another for the power and the glory, we just need to settle down. We're not as important sometimes as we think. You know, there's a God above. We're not as important as we think. And so when we exalt ourselves, we understand that whether it's exalting yourself with your money, with your gun, with your social status or what, when you're exalting yourself, God has warned that those who exalt themselves eventually shall be abased. So let us be careful. I'm getting set. I'm getting ready to actually talk to you about a safety issue. Because again, you know, notwithstanding, we're bad to each other in every single way. We're bad to each other in every single way. And what I'm understanding now is that we now have to be careful how our women take taxi. And, you know, the people who say violence against women, you know, it's not that they don't have a basis on which to say it. I just think that the problem is misidentified. But now you have taxi men, not taxi men, men posing as taxi men, abducting women. I have a caller, so I will. Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, caller. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. All right. So I'm not so sure what's happening there, I guess. Sometimes maybe he got nervous.
Okay, he's calling back.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to try to take this call. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Yes, you're on Fit FM Community Buzz. Talk to me. You're hearing me?
Mr. Wallace, I want to hear him, but I cannot. He's listening to his radio. Mr. Wallace?
Yes, I'm here. You'll have to stop listening to your radio. Listen to me on your phone.
I am not listening to no radio.
All right, good.
Listening to you, yeah?
Good. Speak.
What I'm saying about this woman violation, which I'm thinking, which people I do hear speak on the road, yeah?
Yes.
With woman in violence against woman,
Mm-hmm.
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This woman setting up woman because woman see themselves as threatened to a next woman where them try to set up themselves. If you would up on the road, at least, you're on Falmouth, yeah?
Yes.
I know you, you know me, right?
Yeah, man.
Which we're in. They are just setting up their own each other. Think of it. Woman. Ill-treating woman using a man. Because of
Okay.
their own reasons of certain things.
I see your logic. I see your logic. So what you're saying is that, I keep saying that there is one sin, and that sin is bad mind.
Mr. Wallace, I am not hearing you, I know I'm talking to you, but I'm not hearing what you're saying, yeah?
Oh, just, are you hearing me now?
I'm not hearing you.
You're still not hearing me.
You're talking, but I don't hearing you. I'm just hearing crying and all these things, yeah?
You're just hearing frying. All right, I don't know. I don't know what is happening. I'm hearing you clearly.
Hello?
I am hearing you.
Hello?
I'm hearing you very clearly.
Oh, my God, I'm not hearing you, man. I'm not hearing. Okay, I'm going to turn the phone off and listen to your comments then, okay?
All right, cool.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you've kind of given me a bit to chew on for the next couple of minutes. All right, so what this gentleman was saying was that a lot of the violence against women, and I don't know, I'm interpreting, especially the domestic violence, is actually women setting up women, because women are going into each other's life with bad mind, and in that instant, a man perhaps is with his woman, another woman comes in, forces herself in there, and begin conflict between the original couple. And there may be something to that. There may be, if that is what my caller was saying, there may be something to that, which is why I said there should be legislation. There should be some legislation for home wreckers. Because two people are there building good, move from plyboard house, pan capture land, build up concrete house, work and get them title, have them kids, and kids are going to high school and them ready now to settle down into a new phase of life. And all who wasn't there when plyboard and one bedroom was it. All of them will get ready now and come in at this thing, and are trying to get what they didn't, to reap what they didn't plant. And so I if that is what my caller was alluding to, then I will say to him that I think there's some merit to that argument. What is happening, however, is that we cannot, in our meanness and selfishness, go now to violence as men, since men are the main perpetrators of domestic violence. We cannot, there's no excuse for us to go to beating up on our women. There's no excuse to go killing them. Right? And it is hard. I know it's hard. I believe it's hard. I've never felt it myself. But for a man, for example, to stay with a woman, build what he believes to be a life, and then another man comes into play to take away all that he has built with this woman, it's going to cause problems. It is not no. It is from everlasting. And vice versa. If a woman is building her life with her man, and another woman is coming to destroy that. That is not easy. And in Jamaica, we know for a fact, say enough women, or there are women who break up relationship, long life relationship, and the original woman is literally driven out of what she has built with a man. So that original woman was not there when that invading woman was not there when the original woman was carrying building blocks 2 at a time in 2 hands, going at the back of the house for the black layer late, or for the man himself, who sometimes is the builder, for him to put the block in place. She was not there when that woman was carrying stone and sand to put on the pile to mix the concrete. But yet, when all the work is done, these invaders come in. And that is why I'm saying perhaps Jamaica needs to look at a law against homewreckers. Perhaps that's why Jamaica needs to look at a law against homewreckers. So, thanks for that, caller. Thanks for that, caller, for calling in and making that contribution. I hope that I interpreted what he's saying correctly. So I hope that caller is satisfied with my response. And all of this is meanness. Last week and from now on, I think, as long as I'm here, I'm going to be asking these 3 same questions. These 3 same questions. And the question that, you see, and Bob, sing it, man to man is so unjust. You don't know who to trust. Same thing with women. I think we're reconnecting or attempting to reconnect. Are we? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, Bob Marley had done the song "Man to Man is so unjust," and I'm going to start a trend. I don't know how long it will last, but I'm going to end my program this afternoon and hopefully next Monday afternoon with the questions that I told you about last time. The questions that God has asked man to answer. And if we want to pin it down to black man, if we want to bring it down to Jamaican man, if we want to bring it down to church man, if we want to bring it down to man in the house, the questions are: 1, Adam, man, where art thou? Where are you? What are you thinking? What is in your mind? No. When God asks a question, we tell him already. God don't know where Adam there physically. Perhaps even know where him there in one mind too, because God make Adam. But God is asking us to ask ourselves a question. Where are you really? Are you stable? Are you balanced? Are you grounded? Where are you? Adam, where art thou? Second question is a question that should make peace. It's a question that, if answered properly, could see peace on earth between men. Because this second time round, God was talking to Cain. The question was, where is your brother? Where is your brother? Jamaican man, church man, Caribbean man, black man, where is your brother? Man in the family, where do you know where your son is in his head? Do you know where your brother is in his head? Do you know where your father is in his head? Do you have any inkling? Do you have any contribution to make to the well-being of your brother's position? Man, Cain Where is your brother? We all know what Cain said. Am I my brother's keeper? We all have to ask ourselves that question. Because if we don't, and we're only keeping ourselves, this issue of crime in Jamaica not going to stop. This issue of police brutality all over the world not going to stop. This issue between Israel and the Palestinians not going to stop. Third question. Abraham, where is your wife? Where is your... Abraham must say, yep, what do you, boss man? We don't just send our girl on the kitchen. Oh, you ask me where should I? Show her on the kitchen, man. No, that's not a question. Where is your wife in her head? Where is your sister? Where is your mother? Where are they? Where is your woman? Do you understand what is happening with your woman? And to tell the truth, some of the things happening now that end in violence and death and all that sort of thing occurs from the fact that we do not know where our women are. We don't know what they're thinking. We don't know if they trust us. We don't know if they feel safe with us. Where are they? And I think these are questions that we need to answer. We have to answer them as men. We have to answer them. Where are you? Are you rooted and grounded? Where is your brother? Do you care for another human being? And where is your wife? How are you treating her? What is in her mind? What is going on there? We waited perhaps three or so thousand years for Christ to come after the last of those questions. 3,000 or 4,000 years. And when Christ came, he now asks the next where question. Woman, where is your husband? Woman, where is your husband? Do you know anything about him? Do you know what he's thinking? Do you know what his needs are? And these 4 where questions constitute us looking out, male and female, us looking out, all for each other. You're going to hear this sermon again next Monday afternoon as I close. I want to thank you for listening to Fit FM 96.7. I want to thank you particularly for listening to the Community Buzz with Ed Wallace. I hope that the interaction with you have left you stimulated, more educated, more curious. I hope that you want to learn more. I hope that you go to Google and try to find out some of these things and see for yourself what is happening. And even best of all, I hope that come next week, you will join me on air to discuss any of those points that you have on your mind. I want to thank you ever so much again. And I want to say this is Ed Wallace from Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music, tuning out. Goodbye. Thank you.